You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. And be sure to smash that like button. I did want to ask you a few. I know you spend a lot of time during the spring and you make your rounds, and I know you get to work with LSU. You're going to work at Bama and Auburn and Georgia and Kentucky and Oregon, a lot of different places. I would love your thought on the work that you got to do with LSU this offseason, in particular with so many new defensive linemen coming in.
Yeah. Well, it was an unusual visit. It was 5 days, like all of those visits are. But they had not started spring practice, okay? Mm-hmm. And so the defensive line coach, Jamar, can't remember the boy's last name.
Jamar Cain.
Mm-hmm. He was there, okay? He and Gerald were there, and so I spent 5 days, 10 hours a day, working my tail off to teach him, Jamar. Mm-hmm. And about 3 weeks after, it might have been 2-3 weeks, he left and went to Denver. Right. So maybe I ran him off. I don't know what happened. But anyways, I really worked hard because Matt House is a damn good football coach now. Let me tell you, I've been around Matt at Kansas City, Kentucky, St. Louis Rams, and now LSU. I know Matt for a long time. Matt is smart, and he is a good football coach, okay? But it didn't look like what he wanted it last year up front. And Jamar was of another school of thought, okay? And so Matt wanted him in the off season to give an idea about how we do things and whatever. So I did work awful hard with him. I found him to be a nice guy. Gerald Chapman, who was his assistant, was in there with us. Actually, Gerald was a little bit ahead of Jamar because Gerald had come to visit me in Miami in January last year and everything. So, but it was I worked hard on it, and he up and leaves and everything. But the good news for me, they hired a boy from the University of South Carolina who I've been working with for about 4 years. And I like him, and I think he and Matt had worked somewhere in the past together. Mm-hmm. And so Matt's very comfortable with him. And he does the stuff that all of us do and everything. So Matt's going to be a lot happier and a lot better off. And the linemen are going to get preparation for not only LSU, but for the next step for the guys that are capable of making. So I think it's a win-win, to be honest with you. I did like Jamar, but I think it'll be better. Jimmy Lindsey will be more what Matt has envisioned in the defense. Does that make sense?
It absolutely does. Sometimes continuity on staff absolutely matters. Jimmy Lindsey, of course.
It matters. And when people don't see things out of the same eyes, sometimes it's really difficult. But so it worked out. It worked out for the best, and it worked out for the best for the kids and for LSU.
Coach Pete Jenkins is our guest again. LouisianaLineCamp.com. One more for you, Coach. I'm gonna ask you this. I like to ask you all the time. When's Nick Saban gonna up and retire, man? When's he gonna be done?
He's going, Matt, his energy and his, now, in the 23 years I've been fooling with him, he has really mellowed, okay? And when I say that over in Alabama, they look at me, mellowed, and I said, pronounce that word. It's mellowed, not mellow.
Right.
Okay? But he's changed so much. What hasn't changed is that fire in his gut, that desire to excel. Hey, Matt, that has not changed now. Mm. Now, he's like every other head coach that I visited, those 7 schools, every one of them hate NIL. They hate the portal. I mean, it's changed the face of college football, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, you know, I'm just an old timer. I'm telling you now. I saw it in pro football when I coached pro football. Money is the root of all evils, as they say, and it changes the dynamics between players. If they hired me at your station, and I went in there and didn't have much radio experience, no radio experience, and they paid me more money or whatever than they're paying you, you wouldn't be happy about it. You would not be happy, would you?
Look, Coach Pete, I love you, man. I'd be fired up. I know what you mean. No, I know what you're saying. Of course.
It's just hard. It's hard on guys, and it's hard on them in pro football. But it's even more difficult for a college guy because they're not mature enough to handle that damn money. I mean, you have a lot of guys that haven't had 2 dimes to rub together, and all of a sudden, people are putting all kind of money. So it's really tough. I think that's the thing right now that's more of a problem with him than the football or the hours or the workload or anything like that. I think but he's not by himself now. Everywhere I go, it's the same problem with head coaches. I mean, it's a lot to deal with, man. It really is.
Coach Pete Jenkins. Coach Pete, I got to run to a break, man, but I always love when we get to chat. And promise me you'll come back and we'll talk a little more ball maybe sometime in the summer would be great.
Absolutely, man. It's always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.